Have you ever walked into a home and immediately thought, this looks completely different than the pictures? This happens all the time. Professional photography, lighting, and camera angles can make homes look bigger, brighter, and sometimes very different from how they feel in real life. That's why touring homes is such an important step in the home buying process. It can also be a lot of fun. Who doesn't love exploring homes? Okay, maybe that's just me. Welcome back. So far, I've talked about choosing the right realtor, getting pre-approved, understanding how much money you need to buy a home, and how to set up a home search so you're looking at the right homes in the first place. Now we move to the part most buyers look forward to, touring homes. Hi, I'm Brandon King, realtor in Oregon and Washington. In this video, I'll walk you through what touring homes actually looks like, how we schedule tours, and what's going on behind the scenes. How many homes we should realistically see in a day, and while we are there, what you should be looking at and what I'm looking at. I'll also cover a few etiquette and practical tips that most buyers just don't think about. One of the first questions buyers ask is how quickly we need to go see a home once it hits the market. That answer depends on the situation. If a home hits the market midweek, it's priced well, and appears to check the boxes, we may want to go see it right away. If it turns out to be a great fit, you might try to get your offer accepted before the open house that weekend and before more competition shows up. If a home has been sitting on the market for a few weeks or even a few months, we may have a little bit more flexibility and we can schedule with several other homes we want to tour. But here's something important to remember. Just because the home has been on the market for a few weeks doesn't mean the seller isn't about to accept an offer from another buyer. A competing buyer could walk through the door at any time. And more than once, I've seen homes sit on the market for a few months and still get multiple offers at the same time. Not every listing is a drop everything and go see it situation. Sometimes we can schedule a day or two in advance. Let me share a little about what's happening behind the scenes. Scheduling tours sounds simple, but there can be quite a bit of coordination required, especially if we're scheduling to see more than one home on that day's tour. Realtors request showings through the listing agent or an online scheduling service. If a home is occupied, the seller will need to be notified, approve the showing, tidy up the home, secure pets, leave the home, and possibly adjust their work schedule. If tenants live in the property, there will be a minimum of 24-hour notice required before we can enter. When we plan a tour day, I map out the most efficient driving route between homes so we aren't wasting time driving back and forth across town. I'm also allowing for driving time and about 30 minutes at each home. Even with just a few homes on a tour, it can be tricky to stay on schedule. Because of that coordination, it's best to finalize the list of homes you want to see before asking your realtor to schedule them. Adding or removing homes last minute can sometimes undo a lot of work that went into all the coordination with sellers and other agents. Most buyers can comfortably tour about 4 to 6 homes in one day. While this may only take a few hours, after a while, the homes all start blurring together and the details are hard to keep straight. Instead of trying to see every home that might possibly work, it's usually better to see a manageable number and evaluate them carefully. If we've done our homework up front, we'll have likely narrowed down the list anyway. Here's a hint, even though it's an obvious one. Taking notes can help a lot. Let's talk a little about home touring etiquette and some things buyers might not think about in the excitement of touring homes. First, try to use the bathroom before we start touring. Don't expect there to be TP, and some vacant homes have the water turned off. You never want to be the buyer who discovers that one the hard way. Avoid eating or drinking in the home unless it's an open house where that's clearly offered. If the seller asks for shoes off or provides shoe covers, please follow those requests and take the shoe covers off before exploring the backyard. You're likely going to be walking back through the house. We also want to leave the house exactly how we found it. Lights off, doors closed, and definitely no letting the cat escape into the neighborhood. Another thing buyers don't think about is cameras. Many homes have Ring doorbells, Nest systems, and even interior cameras. So assume you're being recorded both inside and outside the home. That means no trash talking the home, but also no announcing how much you love it. Save those conversations for back in the car. And a quick note about kids. I love kids, but the homes we're touring are not jungle gyms, and the seller's personal items are not a curiosity shop. If young kids are coming along, please remember they are your responsibility. Not every showing works the same way. Vacant homes are easiest to schedule because we have fewer people to coordinate with. Some will be beautifully staged, some will be empty. Owner-occupied homes require more coordination because the seller has to leave before we arrive. Some sellers may work from home, have health issues, or sleep odd hours, which can be challenging to work around. Tenant-occupied homes can be even more complicated. Tenants require advance notice before a showing, and even then, often act surprised when we knock on the door. Many will choose not to even leave the home during the showing. In some cases, especially with investment properties, the listing may say something like interior inspection upon accepted offer. This means buyers must submit an offer first and then conduct an interior tour during the inspection period after the offer is accepted. This is pretty common with rentals, especially if it's a multi-unit property. If you're relocating or buying from out of town, we can also do virtual tours. I regularly walk homes with buyers over FaceTime or record detailed video walkthroughs so they can see things the photos often hide. While this is less than ideal and certainly not equal to seeing a home in person, it can help buyers decide if the home is worth hopping on a flight to come see. Another option is touring open houses. These are usually held the first weekend a home hits the market or after a price reduction. The agent hosting the open house may be the listing agent and know everything about the home, or it could be another agent from the same office who might not know as many details. Most open houses will have a sign-in sheet where they'll ask for your name and contact information, and sometimes whether you're working with an agent. It's perfectly fine to sign in and the polite thing to do, but make sure you also write down your agent's name. Agents ask for your contact information for a few reasons: to track how many people attend the open house, and so they can follow up after. Open houses are also a way for the hosting agent to meet new clients, since many of the visitors are early in the process and not yet represented by an agent. So if you already have an agent and there are other guests, it's helpful and polite to let the hosting agent know. That allows them to focus their time and attention on the visitors who may actually need representation and could become future clients. Remember, they're giving up part of their weekend to host the open house, so letting them know you're already working with someone helps them spend their time wisely. And if you ever want a full list of open houses in a particular area, just ask. I can send you a list. New construction is another type of home tour that works a little differently. Many new housing developments have model homes where you can walk in and speak with the builder's sales agent. The agent is there to show homes, explain the floor plans, answer questions, and if possible, sell you a home. But it's important to understand something. That agent works for the builder. They do not represent you. Before walking into a model home, touring a development, or even calling a builder for more information, have your agent reach out first and get you registered with the builder. Many builders require that your agent register you ahead of time, and some even require that your agent be present for your first visit to the development. If that doesn't happen, many builders will refuse to pay your agent's commission. That policy is designed to encourage buyers to deal directly with the builder instead of having their own representation. Another important difference is the contract. When buying a resale home, realtors typically use a standardized purchase and sale agreement that is written in relatively clear language and designed to protect all parties involved. Builders almost always insist on using their own contract. Those contracts are written by the builder and designed primarily to protect the builder's interests. While the sales agent may tell you that you don't need your own realtor, buying new construction without representation is a little like going to court without an attorney. You technically can do it, but it's probably not the best idea. Here's what I want you to pay attention to when we tour a home. I want you to focus on how it will feel to live there, the feng shui. Does the layout work for your life? Is there enough natural light? Where will the furniture go? Does the yard work for your kids, pets, gardening, or entertaining? How does the neighborhood feel? Is there enough storage? Figure out where the TV might go. Think about daily life. Those are exactly the things that you should be considering. While you're evaluating how the home fits your lifestyle, I'm looking at different things, and I'll be pointing them out as we tour the home. I'm paying attention to potential future expenses, things like the roof, siding, and windows. I'll look to see if the plumbing is copper, PEX, or older galvanized steel. I'll check out the age and type of the electrical panel, especially if it's a model that might have known issues or recalls. I'll look at the HVAC system and how efficiently it's likely to perform. I look for signs of foundation settling, moisture intrusion, mold, drainage problems, or even clues that there may have been an underground oil tank on the property. I'm not a licensed home inspector or a contractor, but I've renovated my share of homes and I've spent a lot of time around construction and remodel projects. So I have a pretty good idea of early warning signs to look for. Another thing I watch for are quick cosmetic flips. Sometimes a home will have fresh paint, new flooring, new countertops, but the major systems haven't been updated in decades. Those are things we want to understand before getting too excited. You're evaluating lifestyle, I'm evaluating risk and future expenses. Together, we'll get the full picture. It's pretty rare to find a home that's perfect in every way. And it's easy to get hung up on cosmetic items like paint colors, flooring, or outdated light fixtures. Those are usually the easiest things to change. Even swapping a bathtub for a shower or a kitchen and bathroom update can often be done without breaking the bank. Sometimes buyers even negotiate small improvements into the purchase price. For example, if a home already has central heating, adding air conditioning later is often fairly straightforward. So try to focus on the things that are expensive or difficult to change, like structure, layout, and major systems. Touring homes is where the rubber meets the road, and where all the strategic planning we've done starts to show results. You begin to see what your budget really buys, what features matter to you most, and which homes truly fit your life. Sometimes my clients will buy the first home we tour. Other clients will tour 20 homes before we find the right one. We will continue to look together until we found it. In this next video, I'll share with you what happens when we do find the right home and you want to make an offer. How to know what to pay for a home, how to structure the terms, and how to protect yourself with contingencies. I'll explain how to write offers that are attractive to sellers without overpaying, even when competing against multiple offers. If you're ready to start touring homes in the Portland area or Southwest Washington, you can schedule a home buying consultation using the link in the description below. And if this video has been helpful, check out the other videos in this series and subscribe so you don't miss the next step in the home buying process.